Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. And this episode of World of Tanks, what do we have? We have Zig. Zig is back, this time in his Object something, but all that went away. Why did it go away? Come back, please, come back. Object 430. And he is anonymous. You guys love it when I give people crap for being anonymous. Anyway, Zig is anonymous, and he's in his 430. We are here on some map called Live Oaks. Spawned into the southwest. And Zig's, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone go that direction, but there you go. Zig's gone that direction. And he's headed out to the track. So Zig sent me this replay and said, hey, Guido had a pretty good replay in my 430. Can you take a look at it and let me know what you think? You know, what could I have done better? All that good stuff that people usually send me notes with. And when I see a really good game, I looked at the results and went, you know, usually there's not a whole lot to say. You drop 5, 6, 7, 8,000, you know. Now, that's not to say you can't learn something, and that's not to say there would not be anything interesting on the videos, and oftentimes just seeing great gameplay is a lot of fun. But usually it's hard to suss something out of that. But this one was kind of strange to me, because I looked at the damage, and I looked at what happened, and I said, well, I don't know, Zig, you had a good game. And then I watched it, and I went, well, this is interesting. So you can see right away, while I was battling, there's... Welcome to the jungle. There's the artillery. Oh my goodness. We got fun and games, and Artie is pooping all over Zig. So T-54E1, Zig, a T-30 backing up eventually, a FV way in the back, and the lightweight, who's not long for this world, and a decent crowd of red guys has showed up, including some with a lot of firepower, one with a bit of armor and the T-10, and then the Centurion with all his hold downness. And Zig says, well, you know what? I don't like that. I'm leaving. I said, okay, well, that's not a bad plan. So what are we going to do? And I thought maybe he's going to go back to the middle or up to the city, but he doesn't do either one of those. He heads back over here, and he has his, I don't know why his turret's locked backwards. That one I couldn't figure out. But anyway, now the turret's coming forward, and we're going to come up over here. Perhaps he had turrets. But I'm just kidding. It's a joke, and if you have that, I'm sorry. All right. It's just, this RU-251, by the way, is all up in poor old Zig's business. The RU's not done with punishing poor Zig, but the T-30 is trying to take on now a T-30, a T-10. The lightweight somehow survived. Look at him. He's gone all the way around. Incredible. He's gone all the way up and around, and now the RU is chasing him, but instead of doing something with that, he just dives down, loses all his hit points, and gets chased out by the RU. Now there's an Object 430 in the middle. And Zig's team is not doing fantastic. They're not doing fantastic. Well, it's 2-5 now. It's even worse than it was. But their positioning is kind of crummy. The FV is just sitting in the middle. This poor T-30 is in big trouble. But Zig's got a little bit of time to come up and over and punish these guys. Puts a nice shot into the T-10. While they are busy trying to take down the T-30. And at this point, he's just trying to watch this little snap-a-lap, a ding-dong right into the back. If I hadn't seen the results of this, I would have said this was kind of over. This looks like a kind of over game. There he goes. He puts a little ram into him, but he gets tracked. Did he fix that? I don't remember. Yes, he did get tracked. I told you the T-51 was not done with him. Puts one more shot into his side, but he survives. Did you notice the first shot from the 251 was a 300 roll? And this, there's the artillery. Welcome to the jungle. Is there another one? Oh my goodness, did he get away from the other one? He did. Ready, stop, look, and listen. So, here we are. I saw the beginning, or I at least saw the results of the match. I saw the beginning of the match where I thought he did a pretty good job dealing with what was going on down there. I thought there was going to be a few more show up. It was a relatively evenly matched push on each side based on numbers. Zig did a pretty good job maintaining some of his hit points and getting in there, and then when they jumped his T-30, kind of the sacrificial lamb, but he actually took advantage of that situation and got rid of those two guys. But now we're looking at going pretty poorly up in the town, and what's the choice now? So I think most people looking at this would go, all right, well, Guido's standard act would probably be to go back. The 430 is the thing that concerns me. We know where some of their heavies are. We know where their standard B is. They're 7, they're 110E3, they're 1-4, and they're 705 Alpha. So that's 1, 2. Where's the Type 5? It's hard to see. I think he's up in the city somewhere. The standard be the 430. So this looks like we have a good idea of where everything is, which means probably the artillery is in the back somewhere. Unless that 430 is repositioned, the artillery is probably vulnerable. But I think, Zig, what I would have done here is go back. But that's why we kind of watch the video or watch the replay and talk about it as we go. Because what I would have done is not necessarily always the right thing. So we're going to watch what Zig does. He actually heads off this way, and it looks like he wants to go try to take out the artillery. Again, I don't really like this approach because it exposes you to being seen by the 430 in the middle. I would have expected him to come back, but guess what? He did not. So Zig comes around here. I absolutely would have engaged that 430 right there. There was no reason to push back into the back with a near full hit point object 430. I think you could have really punished this guy. This is a situation where I think zoom would have been an easier way to fine-tune that shot. So we kind of watch that. We're going to look at it and get a little shot here. We don't know if we hit him, and then we leave. The 430 is going to actually be relit here in a minute. And we ended up losing in the north. Losing in the north pretty badly. The FV is still camping in the back. The 7201 is doing his best. I think he ends up getting one more guy out. And then Zig is cruising in here towards the 2 artillery to try to take them down. Probably had I gone back to the city, you'd have only been really showing up there about right now. And with 2 artillery in the game, that may have been a big problem. So based on the numbers, you'd have to tell us down in the description if you realized that when you initially started pushing for the arty, that it looked like you had all of them taken care of. We get this guy hit. And maybe that was part of your calculus on what was going on. A little auto aim. We'll just go ahead and stop or slow down, let the dispersion close in a little bit, get a better shot, and take that guy down. And it looks like we're looking for the other artillery. Turns out that guy is actually chogied out of there, and he's gone into the city like a smart person. He saw his flank collapse and realized he didn't want to sit here and die with this other guy. So we only end up getting 1 artillery, and now it's 10 to 11, which looks okay. But it's an FV with multiple tanks with guns. And there's only 2 tanks with guns, direct fire guns, on Zig's team. And then 2 artillery. So they have the advantage in artillery. And that's going to be some help on the guys that are pushing across the flat area right there. But really that 430 is what needs to go away. Now I don't know. At first I thought you were going to try to bait them back. And maybe you were trying to do that to some extent. Maybe try to peel some back towards the cap. And then you're going to jump off. But I think I would have stayed unknown. And here comes the WZ-111 1-4. He actually pushes back towards the cap. He knows you're there now. And that's kind of why I would have not gone over that. I may have already gone all the way back down the tracks as well. Because I think just the fact that you were back there killing their artillery was probably going to suffice to make them move back towards their cap, at least one of them, like you got right there. But unfortunately now you've been seen and the WZ's cutting straight across, and all of a sudden now we're sandwiched, which is why I don't really like this move right now for you, going across the middle, because you've really just driven right in between 3 guys. And I realize you're probably trying to push up here and support your FV. I don't know how that already died. Did he just... Maybe he got seen by the 430. Now there's something that the Object 430 does. Fortunately in this case, or unfortunately in the case of game balance, but for a tank, look at that, he actually bounces that. For a medium tank, it has amazingly bouncy armor. And those are the kinds of things that will happen. This WZ thinks he's just going to come in here. I don't know if you noticed the damage potential on the shot, but the WZ is actually running the 110 gun. So he's got the stock gun from the Tier 8, the 110. They trade shots right there. Come around to the side, trying to kill this guy, and we bounce. Then we bring up our armor straight to him, and we ram, and there's really no damage. That was weird. And down he goes. And the poor Tier 9 heavy gets annihilated by the Object 430 right there. But Zig does a nice job in his little BFM engagement with that guy and takes him down. Artillery dumps a shot on him. Looks like only stun, no damage. That's good. And Zig keeps on trucking in here. As you can see, the 53-55 was seen in town. So he's definitely in there. The 110E3 is pushing towards his artillery. And there's also the Object 430. Now, this was a very curious part of the game because I saw this and I went, well, this really should be a loss right here. So let's see how this plays out. 430 is moving in to take out the artillery. And that's going to leave only Zig once that artillery is gone. So Zig comes around here. Looks for a shot. He's going to take a shot onto the back of the 110 E3. Take a little bit of hit points off this guy. The 430 is a one shot, but there's also an artillery somewhere. Probably back here. He gets a 342 out of that roll. Now he's going to push back in here and look for the artillery, which is not a bad idea because if you're going to be running 1v2 against a 110 E3 and a 430, the last thing you really want is to get splashed and tracked or to get a stun in there where you're going to slow down your reload. And that's going to really hurt your chances. It's already hard enough with what you're facing based on the hit points that the 110 E3 has. So we're back here looking for the 53, 55. I think this is the most likely place to find him. Back in the corner, and this is indeed where he finds him, puts a shot on him, and then he eats some artillery. Ouch, that was a pretty big hit, man. 414 on that snapshot. Even though we are stunned, you're going to really just out-reload this guy by miles. Go ahead and auto-aim and we take that guy down. But now we can't afford any kind of hit. At least right before this, we were able to take a shot off of the 430 and still survive, but now we can't take any hits. HE off the 110 is going to end us, probably. And a pen out of the Object 430 is going to end us. And it just gets really interesting from here. I'm really surprised that 430 did not come charging in here while you were fighting the artillery. So I'm not really sure. I wish I knew. I wish I had his replay because I'm curious what he was doing. We're going to find him here in a minute. But I think he was being ultra uber cautious coming in here. And I don't really know why. Kind of depends on what the 110 E3 was doing. It may have been that the 110 E3 was not really backing him up. So we're going to move through the middle here, looking for some shots. Trying to figure out what's going on. I like the activity as opposed to just turtling up. I think that's not a bad idea because it will keep them off balance if they think that you're turtled, or the last time they saw he was back in that corner and they're probably thinking, well, he's probably just hiding back here because he's so low on hit points. Why would he be moving around? I would definitely avoid knocking down trees right here. Anything that's going to give them SA that they don't deserve. If one of them happened to be looking at that, just laughed when you went up on that. I was like, oh man, don't get up on your side. If one of them happened to be looking in this general area or was nearby and saw the tree go down, and we don't know, maybe they did, that's just giving them SA they don't really deserve to have. So just be careful with that. Even knocking down buildings. Dead guys who are kind of watching their carcass or moving around the map through other dead tanks can sometimes look over and see stuff get destroyed. So that will affect you as well. So we move in here, and all of a sudden we find the 430. We spot him. And I figured this was it. I mean, the 110 has to be nearby. Surely you get shot, but you're able to move through here, no problem. And then I just loved that you went right at this guy. And again, what this guy's doing, sometimes when you have these really good games, you're just relying on people to be that guy. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. Why was he not pointing at the direction the threat was coming? Maybe he had no mini-map awareness. I can't tell you. But that was really nicely done. Turtle's up right here. I think that's wise because you're probably kind of thinking, well, maybe he's in that middle area somewhere, close to where he was last seen. And there's lots of little firing lanes right through these buildings. So if you're not careful, got a little piece of yourself sticking out, he might get to you. And then again, I love the aggressiveness. You know, whatever, let's just go try to win this thing. I have 100 hit points, and I have about a 3 or 4 shot 110 E3. Why not just charge this guy? Now this right here was this dude's huge, huge mistake. I don't know if he didn't see you. It's possible because I did not see your 6 cents go off. Let's see. I haven't really paid attention whether you have it or not. Let's see if it goes off when you come around this corner because I think it does. So you may have just saw that guy and he did not see you. Well, maybe you don't even have it. Nope, you do have it. There you go. So somehow you saw him. This is just fantastic. This poor guy. What's he doing? It's like, oh man. He's going to shoot the ground. Ah, there you go. I think he hit your gun. I'd have to back it. Hold on a minute. I don't like doing this necessarily on replays, but let's check this out. Hold on. Let's get zoomed out here. I got to see what just happened here. I missed this on the first replay. Does he hit your gun? Oh, sorry. We went backwards. Holy cow. Now I'm really screwing up. Let's just watch the whole sequence again, all right? All right. I'm going to come around here. Come around to this bush. See the guy. Try to track him. We do track him. He fixes it immediately. He turns around here. We move in. And what does he hit? ever so slowly down to our last gold round. He's looking at us. We're going to side scrape back, I think. We can go even slower and speed up. He's looking at us. What is he shooting at? That's a pause. All right, that's as slow as it goes. What is he going to hit? I think it's the gun. No, maybe it's the turret side. Now we got to speed up. All right, here we go. It's going to happen. I swear, it's going to happen soon, guys. Okay. Okay, go faster. There we go. Oh, see, and I just missed it. Oh, there it is. It's on the turret. He bounced off the turret for no damage. Look at that. Right on that little edge. He was going for the hatch. Oh, man. That is just pixels from death. So nice job with that. We'll show you what he's doing with his camera. Boom. Tracks him. Comes around back here. This guy has a good crew. Watch this. Boom. Fixed. Or 2 kits. Gets a shot into the side. Dude's trying to hide his back, but he's in big trouble. Tries for a track, but can't quite get it. Oh, the big behemoth is just in huge trouble. He just isn't fast enough. Just isn't fast enough. Takes a hit in the side. And I think he gives up right here. Comes around the back, and he just says, whatever. He just quits. Well, man, that was a good game. 5,484, 385 assists. I liked the initial positioning. I thought it was the right idea. I liked how you handled it. You didn't get too crazy. Your team may have done a little better had you stayed up, but that was hard to know at the time based on what you were seeing. The T-30 was late to the game anyway. He sort of just ran forward and died. It would have been real nice if he just stayed back, hold down with you back there. He may have lived through that whole thing. But as it was, once he got jumped, you came in there and dealt with that. That was nice. I probably would have gone back to the town, but I don't know if that would have been the right answer in this case. You got in there and got one of the artillery out, so that was good. I definitely would not have driven on the cap. I would have gone as incognito as I could, minus the fact that they knew you were back there killing artillery anyway, and then just tried to go all the way back down the tracks and back around. Try to work on the 430 and then see what you could do with the rest of the guys right there. But as it was, you handled it nicely. Nice 1v1 on the WZ. Took that guy down fairly handily. And then just aggression from there carried the day. Not hiding in a corner, just getting out there. And, you know, sometimes a couple pixels right or left allow that shot off the side. I didn't notice. Was that an AP round? Maybe that's what I... No, it was an HE round. It was an HE round. Sometimes a couple pixels one way or the other is what it takes. But I will say that the active gameplay carried the day, man. That was really, really good. I appreciate you sending that in. I hope everybody learned a little something with that. If you did, make sure you throw me a subscribe, check out my stream, all that good stuff. If you're looking for other ways to help me out, then right down there in the description. That's all I've got for today, and we will see ya.